Yo people, what's up? It's July and finally the F1 has begun, and after a long wait, the first Grand Prix in Austria at the Red Bull Ring, it was a cracker. Throughout practice on Friday and Saturday, Mercedes dominated, Lewis Hamilton finishing first throughout Friday and Saturday practice, followed by Valtteri Bottas. The Ferraris looked terrible and they ended up in lowly places. Saturday qualifying was an awesome one. Loads of surprise and brilliant action. Valtteri Bottas took pole with a 1 minute 2.939, breaking the lap record set by Charles Leclerc last year. Lewis Hamilton should have started second on the grid, but got a three-place grid penalty for ignoring yellow flag. And so Max Verstappen took second place, followed by Lando Norris, Alexander Albon, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, and Daniel Ricciardo rounding up the top 10. Sebastian Vettel, there's been a big story in 2020. He couldn't make it to Q3. He fell out in Q2 and started the grid at 11th. So all this action on Saturday gave us a wonderful race at the end. Coming to the start, up front, Valtteri Bottas, blistering start. Max Verstappen had no chance, but he in fact came under pressure from Lando Norris, who started on third in the grid. So into turn one, they went side by side. Norris eventually had to run out wide as there wasn't enough space. Charles Leclerc also got into a three-way battle into turn one with Carlos Sainz and Lance Stroll. Hamilton and Albon fought all the way, and Sebastian Vettel made up one place. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty interesting start, but no collisions. On lap 11, Max Verstappen, who was one of the favorites to win the race after his brilliant strategy on qualifying with the mediums, he pulled out of the race on lap 11 after an electrical issue. And on lap 13, Ricciardo followed suit in the Renault with another engine issue, adding to Renault's woes. Lance Stroll, who looked in a really good place for a podium, he too retired with another engine issue as the heat rose. Lap 26, Kevin Magnussen retired from the race after his brakes failed at turn 3. He averted a big crash by pulling the car into a slide. So this eventually brought out the first safety car, and this prompted all the top 10 to head into the pit. Everyone went onto the hard except Sergio Perez, who was then on course for another unlikely podium. So at the restart, Valtteri Bottas led away from Lewis Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel, who was right behind him, got a bit too greedy into turn 3 and tried to squeeze past Carlos Sainz, but eventually they made contact and Vettel spun out. As always, yeah, Vettel's fault there. I think there wasn't really a gap there. But on lap 41, Mercedes pit crew were gleaming and kept radioing their drivers to stay off the curbs after what was a suspected gearbox sensor issue. Romain Grosjean finally retired after similar brake issues on a day which was awful for the Haas team. And George Russell, who was comfortably cruising at P16, he too retired after losing gear sync. This pulled out the second safety car. Mercedes, they decided not to pit both McLaren and pitted for medium. And Alex Albon pitted on the soft, and he looked in a great position to take the race win. So on lap 55, racing begun, and Kimi Räikkönen pulled out to the side after a loose wheel, and this forced yet another safety car. So Hamilton received a 5-second penalty for colliding with Albon. So this really was a big boost for the likes of Leclerc and Norris, who really got active in the final stages. Leclerc passed Norris and Perez to get into P3. And Lando Norris too wasn't having any of it. He, on lap 69, went on the inside of Perez at turn 3. Perez closing the door and they had some contact. And Lando Norris was behind Lewis Hamilton by 5.8 seconds. And he needed to be within 5 seconds for any chance of the podium. And oh boy, did he. On the last lap, he unleashed the fury. A blistering lap of 1 minute 7.757. He got the fastest lap as well, and his first podium in F1. 71 laps later, we finally were done and dusted with the race. Absolute classic, brilliant race, and a brilliant start to the 2020 season. So Valtteri Bottas took the win, followed by Charles Leclerc in a really unlikely podium for Ferrari, and of course the meme boy, as they call him, Lando Norris took third place. Lewis Hamilton ended the race in P4 after this time penalty. Carlos Sainz finishing a brilliant day for McLaren in the points. He finished P5, followed by Sergio Perez in the Racing Point, Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri, Esteban Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Sebastian Vettel taking the final point. Hope you enjoyed the video, and well, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, like, share and comment, and of course subscribe to Arus Prapancha.